Yeah.
Well, because let me
Yeah.
back up. There was a story on one of my boats. We had this guy. I think he was from Puerto Rico, and we were sitting around one day, and we asked him if he was circumcised, and
No, I've never been around the world.
I can't remember if he said he didn't know or yeah. He was very unsure, and then he said no, he's not because he still has the head, and we said no, that's not what that means.
Wow.
And so we drew him two pictures, and we said, does yours look like this one, or does yours look like that one?
Does he look like he's from the north? He look like he skis.
Yeah.
Does he look like he would enjoy living in Aspen, Colorado, or maybe
So
more in a more Miami type climate?
He pointed to the one on the left, the one with the fireman's helmet clearly showing, and he said that one. And we said, okay, then you're circumcised. He said no, because I still have the head.
Yes.
And we said, no, that's not what that means. He said, well, I'm going to go ask Doc. I said, that's a good idea. You go ask Doc, and he can tell you if you're circumcised or not. So he went and asked Doc. This is back in the interim.
That's when he found out he had a vagina. That's weird. That must have been weird. The weird.
So he's gone. He comes back.
Is this guy a nuke? Is this guy a
No,
nuke?
no. He wasn't a nuke. Okay. He was just back there. I think he was trying to get checkouts from us. And man, he would come back. He would come back there. We'd have so much fun with him because he was so funny.
Like some sort of you only gave checkouts being a qualification process.
Yes.
You only give checkouts to circumcised people.
we would ask weird questions.
Let me see. Didn't you just say, all right, dude, you know what? We're going to be underway. We're going to be underwater for next. Might as well whip it out because I'm probably going to run into it sometime.
No, it wasn't that. It was just, we just asked weird, bizarre questions. And a lot of it was just to loosen the guys up because they'd go back there and they'd be so...
Was that a part of the checkout? Was that not a part of the qualification process? You got circumcised?
No, that was not part of it. But we would ask bizarre questions. It was more just to get them to finally drop their defense and just relax. And it was a good icebreaker. Yeah. Once you can talk about that, you can talk about anything.
I do that a lot at the bar. Hey, dude, you circumcised? Me too. Let me buy you a drink.
Yeah.
No, I can't say that I haven't been there myself.
Yeah. So he runs up forward into the boat and finds Doc. And about 5 minutes later, he comes back. He's got this kind of goofy smile on his face, and he goes, "You guys were right. I'm circumcised." Apparently, Doc had explained it to him, and
now I am a man.
He was so funny.
I had a bar mitzvah while I was up there.
That kid was crazy. He would tell us some crazy stories. He got to the point then where he would just tell us anything, and sometimes we wouldn't even ask, and he would just tell us stuff, and it was stuff like, well, that's just a little too much information. You didn't need to tell us that, but he would tell us anyway, and it was some funny stuff. So anyway, this guy went in because he had some inflammation. Now I don't know how the doctor didn't look at this beforehand, but apparently the doctor said his penis looked like a piece of rotten cauliflower.
Oh.
And so
that's usually a bad sign.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah, it is a very bad sign. So the doctor cut a good portion of it off. I don't think he cut it all off, but he cut a chunk of it off because it was cancer.
Yeah.
So basically, he saved his life.
Yeah.
And so the guy wakes up, finds out he's cut it off, part of it off. He didn't cut it all. He cut part of it off. And so he's suing him now for $16 million. He sued him for $16 million. All
right, and that's how I said. I said, okay, come back in, and I'll stab you.
No. What gets even better is he wasn't done there. He didn't sue him. He hadn't sued him yet, right? He got a partially removed. Then he had to go back in for, he had cancer. There's follow-up treatment and everything. So he actually had to have the whole thing amputated from the cancer.
So he did get it all.
So they could get it all, but it was a different surgeon that did it. So he's suing him for cutting part of it off, even though weeks later, the whole thing got cut off because he was covered with cancer.
Case dismissed. Next case.
Yeah, it was thrown out because the guy, he did the right thing. He saved his life. You're not gonna.
Finders versus
he said
keepers. Next case.
He said you didn't have consent for that. And
true.
What,
I mean
that's true. But what doctor is gonna? It's dangerous to go under anesthesia every time you do it. So what doctor is going to risk doing it again to ask you, would you like me to save your life because you
Hey,
have cancer?
hey, wake up, wake up. I'm gonna
Yeah.
chop your penis off.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think-
I mean, truthfully, I would like to be consulted. At least, just kind of. I mean, why didn't he go into? Is he not familiar with his own unit?
That's what I'm thinking. How did he not see this rotten cauliflower penis, and think, I need more than a circumcision?
It burns when I pee, and I'm in I'm in medical. I'm like, hey, it's okay. You just ate, you know, you just, I don't know.
Too much asparagus.
Too much asparagus. You just calm down,
Yeah, but I mean, but one thing how did the doctor not? He must have looked at it before the surgery. You don't just go in and say, I want a circumcision. They always check before they do anything. They always look at you first.
See if you're a candidate.
Oh, you don't have any foreskin. I'm sorry, I can't circumcise you.
You may already you just you need another trim. Is that what you're saying? I mean,
when we got Jack's little turtleneck trimmed back when he was born, the surgeon came to us, and it was like a trial trying to. I mean, he had these risks, and you don't really need to do it anymore, and on about. It doesn't have to be done, and all these things can go. Or you could have mutilation of the penis and everything.
Did you say I'm not a pagan?
And I said, I don't care what could happen. I don't want him looking funny.
Yeah.
And it all turned out fine.
Whew.
It was.
I wasn't sure how you were gonna. Yeah.
No, it was. I'll tell you, it's.
I think it usually.
If you've never seen this done, it is a bizarre. I wouldn't say ritual because it wasn't really a ritual. It was
not anymore.
Very much a procedure.
It's called a bris.
Yeah, but it was very much a procedure and not. Didn't have any oil flying around or dancing and singing. But he put this. It did look very archaic though. This machine he used, or apparatus is a better word, that he kind of clamps around it.
Is that really how they do it?
Yeah, he kind of. It's kind of like a guide, like a cutting guide.
Yeah.
And they kind of put it over there, and then they pull the skin over it, and they put this other thing down around it, and then he basically.
Does it cauterize it at the same time? Does it?
No. This is just basically a machine just to hold it.
They give him a sip of whiskey.
No, what they did was, this is the crazy part. They gave him an injection in the base of the scrotum.
You don't do that. That's kind of the same thing. That hurts too.
that really made him cry. But then what you could see once the whatever the drug was, the anesthesia was as soon as that took effect, Jack was like, "Ooh," he was all better, fine. Yeah, and then he just put that thing on there and took a scalpel and trimmed it around.
I hope a lot of friends of Jack's listen to the show.
Oh, they all get cut too, I'm sure.
Well, no, not that. I mean, it's just like I for one would love to hear my my breasts.
I've told Jack this story before. He knows.
Hey, Jack, you remember that time you got your penis?
He doesn't remember.
Down?
He doesn't remember. That's what's great about it. But then they took.
No, you sure?
But you know what they do with the thing?
What?
The calamari ring. You know what they do with it?
Feed it to like some homeless kids.
No, he just tossed
it to the orphans.
He just tossed it in the trash can. I was like, what?
He didn't try it on. He didn't try it on. Hey, look, this.
Hey, I was gonna put that in the scrapbook. What are you doing? I figured, I figured it was in some magical jar, and they sent it off somewhere. No, they just threw it in the trash. I was like,
No, they don't.
And then they take a big glob of Vaseline.
Doesn't the mother eat that along with the placenta?
No, she didn't.
Not anymore.
She was full, I think. Upset stomach or something. Oh. She didn't want any part of that.
No.
But then you take a big glob of Vaseline and just stuck it over the whole thing.
Jeez.
No bandage or anything. Just a big giant glob of Vaseline. And then put the diaper back on, and he was good to go.
Yeah.
And then every time you change him, you got to clean all that off, and another glob of Vaseline, and
yeah.
And well, yeah, you don't want to stick a Band-Aid on there.
Yeah, I suppose not.
You put a Band-Aid on your arm or something where there's, and he doesn't have any hair, but that's one area you don't want to rip a Band-Aid off of.
No, you'd rather that just kind of come off on its own.
Yeah, in the shower, and he wasn't going to shower for another 10 years, so.
And still, you got to convince him, right?
Yeah, still you got to fight him for it. Yeah. So that was it, and all was good. Yep. And now he doesn't look funny because of that.
Right,
She's got
because
plenty of other reasons to
when
think it's
you're
funny.
strutting down the street with the boys with the bits and pieces, with the beans and franks,
Yeah,
yeah, he doesn't get pointed at. Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
good job, good move.
Hey, all right, you gonna do it with your kid?
Yeah, I
Are
don't
you gonna?
know.
You think you're gonna have one
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm gonna have like
someday?
plenty that I actually know their names.
You already named them?
What? No, no,
Oh,
that I know that I know where they live.
oh.
I don't know. I mean, I I'd have to revisit it.
Well, yeah. Have you visited it yet?
I just always assumed,
It was
yeah.
gonna happen, and it just hasn't happened.
No, I just assumed it'd be like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
But I'd be like, whoa, 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 not so much. Now you back it now, back it up, back it up.
I'll tell you,
Just
it's like having cats that live a long time.
oh, kids,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but you can like, yeah. 18 and they're out. They're either in the in the military.
Apparently not.
Or,
Apparently not.
well, that doesn't count. She's actually at college, so
Yeah.
you can
Give her that.
you can give that. But you got the choice either in the military or in the college.
Yep. Yep. That's what
You keep going to college, with a real degree, not
Yeah,
freaking,
not-
not art history. Art history is not a degree.
Yeah.
If I can read it in a book,
On the internet.
if I can read it in a book or on the internet and and have a serious discussion with you about it, that's not a degree.
That's right. It's gotta be technical and stuff.
It's got to have a lab.
Yep. I gotta have a lab. Although I didn't have a lab.
That's because you don't. Oh, never mind.
I don't have a. There's no online labs.
Exactly.
But I
There's
guess
no,
I have.
no online real
I have
degrees.
I have practical experience.
Yeah, lasers and
Lasers and robots.
chemistry and robots. Greetings. That's like
Oh, man.
somebody said that every time their kid hears something about robots, they say greetings.
Bitty bitty bitty. Thanks, Buck.
Thanks, fuck. I
Oh,
can see
that's
that.
the good old days, huh?
Yeah, robots. When I was afraid that they'd get my stuff, I had to watch the skies for the drones.
Well, you know what? You remember what David Klein said about robots? There's no way they can keep you safe
David
unless they
Klein. Yeah.
got lasers.
You gotta have lasers,
You gotta have lasers. Lasers.
man. Quote unquote lasers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need a robot to, like I said, a Roomba. Get to work.
I'll tell you, I got the Roomba, and it's good. It's good for tidying, not for cleaning.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It's and with cats, oh man, you're gonna have your hands full because there's so much hair and stuff that you don't even notice that.
I just, you know what? You just keep moving, Roomba. Don't look at me that way. You just keep working.
Well, it'll tell you when it needs to be emptied. It'll
We'll
keep
discuss this. Yeah. Well,
But it's pretty cool because
you'll get a raise. You'll get a raise when I think you deserve a raise.
all he wants is electricity. That's all he
Robot.
wants, electricity. But
Robot.
it's pretty cool because he can find his way back when he's like, oh, I need more electricity. He'll find his way back to the dock and park himself and charge.
Yeah,
And it's pretty cool.
that's right. He better freaking do that.
But sometimes he'll like smash into, like if you got a broom or something laying up, like not laying, but like set up against the wall, he'll knock that thing right over and keep on going. So he's pissed off with the broom sitting around doing nothing, so he's gonna come over and knock it down. Why aren't you doing this? He'll just take it right out.
Little animosity.
Yeah. Yeah. You all right?
Yeah.
A little dusty in there. You need a Roomba to clean
Yeah.
things up.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's
Excuse me.
yeah, it's not a cleaner. It's a tidier.
Yeah,
But
that's right.
But it's good. It's good for getting like all the cat hair up and dust and stuff. That kind of.
So,
Yeah, but it'll try. It's pretty smart because it'll
what if you get two?
work
Will
its
they
way
battle?
all around, huh?
If you get two, will they battle?
No, that's a good question. That's a good question. They've got these little things you get with them. It's like a little master thing, and you put it like in the doorway. If you don't want them to leave the room, you put that thing in the doorway, and it'll like tells them, "Don't leave this room until I tell you to."
They'll shock them.
Yeah, because otherwise he will go all over the house as far as he can go without, he'll do the entire downstairs. He won't stay in one room unless you tell him to.
Yeah, oh yeah. Sounds good.
Yeah, and he just looks and looks, drives all around.